6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe, assisted by Nilusha Jayamanna, and read by Geetanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Minister of Education says uplifting education is a duty of everyone. Teachers and Principals Union says they will report for duty on Monday. Approval granted for tourism-related investments valuing nearly $100 million. A national policy on local cinema prepared. A fundamental rights petition filed against issuing shares of Kerawalapitiya thermal power plant to a US company. Foreign news, Myanmar releases prisoners held over coup. Sports news, Sri Lanka Under-19 wins the second one-day international by 1 run against Bangladesh Under-19. Local news in detail now. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that steps have been taken to open schools stage by stage. 3,800 schools with primary grades and schools with less than 200 students will open on Thursday. He told SLBC that it is essential to uplift school education, which is severely affected by the pandemic. Meanwhile, Minister Professor G.L. Pires, during a media briefing today at Podujana Peramuna Party headquarters, requested the teachers and principals not to disrupt children's education. All Island Teachers Services Union says that all teachers and principals will report for duty from Monday. During a media briefing in Colombo today, Secretary to the Union Mahinda Jayasinghe said that they have a responsibility towards the children of the country. He said their aim is to make teaching a frontline state service with high salaries. General Secretary of the Union Joseph Starling said that the government's responsibility is to meet the demands of teachers and principals. 33 investments related to tourism, valuing nearly $100 million have been submitted for approval during the past 9 months. $9 million of investments have been approved. Minister Prasanna Rantunga said that proposals for tourism investments amid the pandemic are a positive sign. The investments are related to religious, cultural, national heritages, adventure sports and Ayurveda sectors. A national policy on local cinema has been prepared by the State Film Advisory Council. A member of the council, film critic Gamini Veragama, said that it has been prepared to equally distribute income among film producers and exhibitors. The policy will be handed over to the Prime Minister. An action plan will also be prepared according to the policy. A fundamental rights petition has been filed in the Supreme Court requesting for a restraining order against issuing shares of the Kerawalapitiya Yugadanavi thermal power plant to an American company and preventing the supply of liquid gas to the company. The petition has been filed by Archbishop His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith and Venerable L.A. Gunawansatero. It has named 54 respondents, including the cabinet led by Prime Minister, Cabinet Secretary, Finance Ministry Secretary, and the Attorney General. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Ministry of Health says that the program to vaccinate school children is successfully continuing. Vaccination of children in the ages of 18 and 19 is taking place at schools. Our reporters said that a date and a time have been given to students to minimize overcrowding. Head of the Epidemiology Unit, Dr. Samitha Ginige, said that COVID can be controlled to a greater extent after vaccinating more than 70% of the population. 58% of the local population has been vaccinated. More than 67% has been given at least one dose of a COVID vaccine. Dr. Ginige said that 65 to 70% of the population can be vaccinated if the vaccination program continued for the next 2 weeks. Health authorities have requested the public not to travel violating travel restrictions and ignoring health guidelines. Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, said that it is a high risk for the public to travel when there are restrictions. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 500 to 600 corona patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasised that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public act irresponsibly. And that ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry said that another 354 coronavirus patients have recovered and discharged from hospitals within the last 24 hours. This brings the number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 492,975. Sri Lanka has registered 531,648 coronavirus cases so far, while 25,189 infected patients are currently being treated across the island. The death toll in the country due to the virus is 13,484. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight.
Sri Lanka's pioneering startup acceleration program, Venture Engine, will soon wrap up its submission phase, with applications set to close on the 22nd of October. Venture Engine program is also open to entrepreneurs opting to submit new early-stage business ideas with huge potential markets. Visit www.ventureengine.lk to learn more about the application process. And that was Watchlight.
World News.
In the headlines, Myanmar releases prisoners held over coup. China's growth slowdown suggests recovery is losing steam. Facebook hires thousands in EU to work on metaverse. World news in detail now. Myanmar says it will release more than 5,000 prisoners who were jailed for protesting against February's coup. Thousands of people were detained during bloody demonstrations after military leaders seized power. Myanmar's leader, General Min Aung Hlaing, said 5,636 prisoners would be freed for humanitarian reasons. China's economy grew 4.9% in July to September quarter, from a year earlier, the slowest pace in a year and worse than analysts had predicted. This was far slower from the previous quarter when growth was almost 8%, suggesting the recovery is weakening. Power shortages, outbreaks of COVID-19 and pressure from Beijing on a number of industries are taking their toll. Facebook is planning to hire 10,000 people in the European Union to develop a so-called metaverse. A metaverse is an online world where people can game, work and communicate in a virtual environment, often using VR headsets. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has been leading voice on the concept. The announcements come as Facebook deals with the fallout of a damaging scandal and faces increased calls for regulations to curb its influence. Back to the headlines of the world news. Myanmar releases prisoners held over coup. China's growth slowdown suggests recovery is losing steam. Facebook hires thousands in EU to work on metaverse. And that ends World News.
And now in development news.
The first batch of the nano-nitrogen liquid fertilizer ordered from India is to arrive in the country tomorrow. The Minister of Agriculture said that 3.1 million litres of nano-nitrogen liquid fertilizer have already been ordered and that the first lot of this will arrive tomorrow. Accordingly, a consignment of 100,000 litres of nano-nitrogen liquid fertilizer is expected to reach the island tomorrow by air freight. And that was development news.
Sports news.
Sri Lanka Under-19 won the second one-day international by 1 run against Bangladesh Under-19 at Dambulda today. Chasing a target of 229 set by Sri Lanka, Bangladesh was all out for 227 in 49.3 overs. Sri Lanka Under-19 team now leads the 5-match series 2-0. Sri Lanka will play the first qualifying round match in the T20 World Cup against Namibia in Abu Dhabi today. The match is scheduled to begin at 7:30 p.m. local time. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka team has decided to wear black armbands today to express their condolence over the passing away of former Sri Lanka Test captain Bandula Warnapura. And that was Sports News.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
DFCC Bank has increased the advances of its DFCC Ranwarama pawning facility as a solution for families to meet their urgent cash requirements. Through this scheme, all Sri Lankan citizens over 18 years of age with the contractual capacity to declare themselves as owners of the articles can now pawn gold or gold jewellery. DFCC Bank accepts jewellery made of 18-carat, 24-carat gold, with the articles being assayed using the latest available equipment. And that was Business News.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
In economic news, despite the lockdowns, both manufacturing and service activities expanded in September from a contraction in August, indicating that economic activities have mostly adjusted to operate safely under the guidelines. Sri Lanka's Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index reported an index value of 54.3 in September from 45.1 in August, while service activities recorded 52.2, up from 46.2 in the previous month. And that was economic news.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says conditions are favourable for the formation of evening thunder showers over most parts of the island during the next 2 days from tomorrow. Several space of showers may occur in the Western Province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places elsewhere during the evening or at night. And that was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning. With video-based lessons from grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
And to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The Minister of Education says uplifting education is a duty of everyone. Teachers and Principals Union says they will report for duty on Monday. Approval granted for tourism-related investments valuing nearly $100 million. A national policy on local cinema prepared. A fundamental rights petition filed against issuing shares of Kerawalapitia thermal power plant to a US company. Foreign news, Myanmar releases prisoners held over coup. Sports, Sri Lanka Under-19 wins the second one-day international by 1 run against Bangladesh Under-19. And with that, we end this news broadcast.